Hi Virgo, I hope you guys are doing well. This is going to be a general reading for July 16th through 23rd. And I am starting on that last day that I ended the last week with, just because we have that full moon and lunar eclipse at 24 degrees Capricorn. Let's just see, because the general energy, sometimes we catch some people's energies, other times we catch other people. So we try to get everybody the best we can. Let's see, your crowning energy is the Fates. That's beautiful. All right, so why don't we talk about that energy first? This is all about karma and acceptance, and that there are things that you just can't change. And it's important to understand what those things are. This is the Serenity Prayer card, I always say, right? For those of you who don't know it, it's God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So this is really what this energy is all about, and this is about there being things in life that you're never going to fully have control over. And, sometimes conditions are brought on by the evolution of the collective and by your past experiences, but the idea here is that everything that's supposed to happen is going to happen. Now, in regard to relationships, this is about you understanding that other people are who they are and you can't change them. And the challenge is to accept them as they are and not try to make them otherwise to suit you. Because this is really a time to look at how you might attempt to mold people to fit your worldview of how they should be so that you can remain in the relationship and avoid any discomfort. So you really need to ask yourself is, what if who they are and really whatever is who they are? Would you be okay about, with that? And this also does indicate that whatever relationship you're in right now, whatever situation you're in right now is very fated, and that you're meant to evolve into a better version of yourself as a result of it. So this is about you just understanding that your experiences concerning prosperity and abundance and what you know to be true in your life may feel slightly beyond your control right now, and that you're being tested just to accept what is, without reservation. So, just know this going in, because whatever's happening right now is completely supposed to be happening. So I really like that for you. It's an awesome energy. And guys, just so you know, there's stuff going on in the sky this week. Yes, we have this lunar eclipse, and we have Venus in Cancer opposing Saturn in Capricorn. We're going to be feeling this fullness. Everybody's going to be feeling this fullness, this sense of completion, this bubbling up. Things that may have been bugging you all of a sudden coming kind of like to a head. All right, that you could be feeling that at the beginning of this week, right? Kind of like this clashes, and it could be clashes or overstimulation in money or love areas, right? And then also on July 18th, we have this Venus in Cancer trine Neptune, which is really beautiful, and it's a time of psychological breakthroughs and you just realizing things in the biggest way about your life. But then at the same time, we have Venus in Cancer opposing Pluto in Capricorn, and the Sun in Cancer conjunct Mercury in Cancer on the 21st, which is all about power struggles. So what these three things inside of a short period end up bringing is feeling, in a nutshell, is a feeling of not feeling you can fully trust something, that something really beautiful is in front of you, but you're not trusting of it. You're just not sure if what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what you're believing is real. Five of Swords to start the week. Okay. All right, that makes sense. Listen, a lot of the signs are getting some wonky stuff in the beginning of the week. That's okay. Okay, all right. I like the shadow side reverse. It's better. Two of Wands, beautiful energy. This is the end of the week. All right, you're worried, but you're coming out of it. The Lovers reverse, that's okay. I feel like that's your insecurities. Insecurities, yep. Vulnerabilities, fear, trying to protect yourself. All right. And these are going to be some of the challenges you're dealing with. The Chariot reverse, I feel like that might have to do with that Five of Wands energy. Okay. Yeah, and guys, don't, listen, don't spread it. All of the signs are feeling this. Like what I just explained about just not being completely sure if you can trust what's in front of you. Just not sure if maybe the grass is greener on the other side. You're just not sure. And then you're like, oh, wait a minute. I've been to that other side. I really don't think that's that great either. And I just don't know. And it's completely normal if you're feeling like this. So don't make any really rash decisions in this energy, besides the fact that Mercury is retrograde till the end of the month, but then it's not out of shadow until mid-August. So, all right, let's talk about the energy here. Five of Swords, Venus and Aquarius energy. This indicates conflict with, I'm getting that actually it's a type of conflict that just ended but isn't quite over, if that makes sense. Like this might have happened going into this week. And listen, guys, if naturally, besides the fact that this is a general read, it's not going to resonate with everyone. The energy doesn't understand Monday to Tuesday to Wednesday, right? So this might have been happening the week before. It could certainly be falling into the week after. But there's some sort of conflict that's going on that's not quite over in its totality yet at the beginning of this week. This can be having to deal with a family dispute, could be somebody at work, or, you know, this can indicate tension and conflict within a relationship. But overall, the Five of Swords reveals this ongoing stress and a challenge to your position. So you might not win this argument or this battle, as they say, but you can recover and walk away with self-respect, provided that you make a gracious exit. You know, where you have the fight, be gracious about the end of the fight. Like, don't feed in. Don't be pulled into more drama than is necessary. Because there's a danger here that if you continue to fight, even when the battle is over, it's not going to go well for you. It's going to be very hard to fix things if you're going to want to fix things at any point. So regardless of the situation, whatever the provocation, deal with your anger and disappointment with grace. Don't keep shouting, you know, don't hope to revisit the situation as it was or the relationship as it was, because this does indicate something needed to change here. And this energy said that continuing to ruminate in a way where you're trying to fix the unfixable is just not going to be productive for you right now. So we have this bookended energy here with the Knight of Pentacles reversed. So I just feel like this challenge goes with this. I'm feeling it has to do with you dealing with somebody who's stubborn, unable to see a point of view, someone who is a little plotting and pessimistic. Yeah, and just not willing to go beyond their comfort zone for the greater good. This can also indicate materialism and somebody who's also a bit secretive and dishonest. So because this is a general reading, I have to say this can be you, Virgo, but this is the energy that I'm getting here starting this week with this Five of Wands energy. And, you know, that doesn't surprise me because that's when that lunar eclipse is going to be happening, okay? And then we have the Three of Swords, which is the Saturn and Libra energy. And this talks about a painful truth, okay? This can, of course, be the result of this Five of Wands conflict, having to deal with something that you might have been suspicious of coming to light, but this is definitely an emotional pain of some kind. But this energy asks for you to just accept something, because there's nothing, but you can't do anything about this but face the reality that someone in your life has betrayed you in some way. Now, this can be an intimate relationship. It could also be work relationship, family, any kind of business dealing, anything that deals with your heart space where you feel hurt. You know, because these swords, like one sword is you, one sword is the other person. And the third sword can be a third-party situation. Yes, it can be. Okay, you know, a lot of readers do go straight to that. But it can be any situation that's getting in the way between you and someone else. So this can just be a heavy-duty argument where you're absolutely not having a meeting of the minds, where it's like something's got to give. Something absolutely has to give. But the good thing here is that you get to the heart of the matter. So any confusion that you've been having surrounding the situation is banished, and you're now in a position to begin moving on from this upset, to begin healing and actually moving forward, you know, which is great. But then we have this Four of Cups reverse, you know, still at the beginning of this week. This is just going to be a sensitive time for you, Virgo. You know, the ebb and flow of life, this is okay. This is an energy of sensitivity, deep intuition, Lots of self-protection with the Four of Cups, right? This is typically referred to as the card of disillusionment, because it often shows up after you've been hurt in the past and you want to protect yourself, which makes sense after you're having an argument with somebody, of course, where you reached a pivotal point in your relationship where things need to change. That can put us into self-protection mode, where, I also call this my checklist card, right? A lot of you might know that. That's what I call it. It's like you instantly reject anyone or anything that doesn't live up to your exacting standards, and because you feel on guard. You want things to be a certain way. You're not going to tolerate A, B, and C, and you're in the space of wondering if you're ever going to meet anyone that you really, really resonate in a healthy way. And is that even possible? And it is, of course, but this is going to mean getting over this situation and being willing to really emotionally open up. Really open up, Yeah. This is you just not feeling very satisfied with the relationship. And if so, it's time to change. So for some of you, it could be a really big fight where you're at this almost like a stalemate. For some of you, it could mean the end of a relationship. For others of you, it could mean stalemate. For others of you, you might not be arguing really at all, but this can all be very internal. You could be struggling with this internal conflict here with these two energies, and you're just being in a space of not feeling very satisfied in your relationship, but you're not sure how to change that. So here, this energy indicates maybe injecting some romance into things, to undo this high degree of dissatisfaction. This can even have to do with work if you're really, really unhappy in work. You changing things, you needing to make a change. But see, the thing is here, regardless of how it's going to be impacting you, again, because it's a general reading, you're yearning for change, but you really don't know what you want. But at the same time, you're very much in the space of feeling the need to protect yourself. So the advice here is to try new tactics to whatever area you're feeling this in. So maybe a new approach to your work, address what needs to be changed in your relationships or your environment. It's just very important to express your needs right now rather than locking them up. This definitely does indicate you being in a space of limbo right now, but this energy pushes you to take control and make changes in your life rather than waiting for the changes to happen. Again, guys, minor arcanas are temporary energies. It's not like a major arcana where it's a lot more long-lasting and more life-shifting. Temporary, okay? Going into midweek, we have the shadow side reverse. Now, this is one of the few cards whose meaning becomes more hopeful in the reverse. This is a Capricorn energy. The numerology linked to the lovers. Okay, we do have the lovers reversed here. So I do get a very heavy love vibe. I do have to say, if that's resonating with you, if it's not, maybe this is just not your reading, but I do have a very heavy love vibe. I do have to say, Virgo, with the cards that I'm getting here. Yeah. So this suggests a decision you need to make is going to be easier than you think. And the situation is not as serious or as drastic as you first thought. So whatever this is, I'm feeling like this could have been an argument, a situation that ended up getting out of control, ended up becoming way bigger than it should have because of, as I was saying in the beginning of the reading, these fears, this questioning, this, can I trust it? Can I believe it? Should I believe them? Is this real? Is this really even what I want? I don't know. Do I really want this? Kind of thing. So the shadow side reverse says it's not as bad as you thought. But now it's time to make a move forward. Now, for those of you who have been struggling with any kind of health issue at all, physical, emotional, anything like that, the cycle's about to end. Addiction, bad habits, negative thinking, all easier to manage and easier to get completely past, actually, in this energy. So I'm getting, though, here that this might be where the Chariot reverse comes in to your challenge, is what I'm getting. Yeah, because this tells me that either you or your partner or both of you or an outside event spiraled out of control where egos at work and selfish needs come before the greater good. So this can indicate some kind of reckless behavior, some kind of poor judgment at play up to this point. Like, this is you guys getting tipped off the road a bit, right? Maybe even your plans getting disrupted or even delayed. So I just feel like, you know, the shadow side can be the result of this, which can be the result of that Five of Wands and this Three of Swords energy, where it's things just got whacked off the road, whacked off of where you guys were going, right? But it's because of these fears I'm getting, and just somebody reacting inappropriately because of a fear. Almost like a self-sabotaging behavior is what you get with that Chariot reverse, and I do get that here. All right, and then we have, we have the Five of Pentacles. All right, so Mercury card. So when Mercury is the magician, right? So when Mercury finds himself in Taurus, his focus shifts. Mercury is very about the intellect. Mercury rules you guys, Virgo and Gemini, very, very much in the intellect. But in this space, Mercury is suddenly thrust into like a cold, cruel world where he has to feel like he has to fight for his physical survival, you know. And like all the cards in Taurus, the Five of Pentacles is connected to the Hierophant, who gives us wisdom. But most of the wisdom that we get from the Hierophant has to do with earthly realities of life on this planet, where we find our spiritual selves embodied in the human form. But the thing is, if we're not careful, we can forget that our physical forms really don't define us. So that said, this indicates the natural progression of things. Like, anyone who understands their own existence will also recognize their mortality. And when safety and security are not assured, most people don't have the time or patience for high-minded philosophies and spiritual ruminations and a bunch of what ifs, because survival, whether financial and or emotional, is going to be your first order of business. So tangible goods represent physical security, along with conditional guarantee that your earthly existence is going to continue, and feeling supported represents your ability to maintain relationships. So this is you in a space of just questioning, like, what the hell, you know, where am I going? Is everything the way I want it to be? Do I have enough? Am I getting enough? Am I giving enough? You know? But despite the cold and stark conditions of this card, I mean, look, there's snow everywhere. The little dying flower there, right? So despite that, though, the Pentacles are still existing and present on this barren tree. Everything else is fallen off. Everything else is gone. But the Pentacles, which can represent money, but it can also represent support, mental support, emotional support, being there for one another. It's there. So while you may not have everything you want in the way that you want it right now, and even though you might be feeling very like, I'm not sure what I want, you're going to have what you need. But this may be a matter of shifting your perspective and looking at things differently, you know? And this is where I think the Empress energy might be the challenge here. You know, because what's the Empress? The Empress is all about abundance and material comfort and security and emotional support. And in your fears, this just shows me that you're not completely trusting that your situation, your job, your partner are all going to be able to meet the needs or your needs in the way that you feel you need in order to be happy in your life. Okay? But you are going to have everything you need, because look at how those Pentacles are surviving in that barren space. Okay? And then we have the Two of Wands, Mars and Aries energy. Yeah, man, this is good. This shows you making plans and moving forward. There are two aspects to your situation that you're considering in this space. And this energy pushes you to think about what's going to help you most on your path, you know, and what issues might be holding you back at this time. This is a very formative stage of something new in your life, Virgo, you know. Mars is the natural ruler of Aries, and when Mars is in his own sign, he's the master of his realm. You know, he's in his own element. He's in his own sign. He's in his own house. So Mars is in dignity here, which tells me that you're going to be in a space of feeling very much in control of your life. Things are just going to start falling together. And on top of that, Mars isn't just the ruler of the sign, it's the ruler of the first deck and two, which gives the Two of Wands an extra dose of powerful Mars energy. So this is about pushing things into motion, Virgo, moving forward. It symbolizes protection and self-preservation, along with self-assertion, but in a way where it's like you have this passion and this sense of fearlessness. This is you picking yourself up after that Five of Wands situation, and resolving to not let any negative bullshit bring you down or allow any negative experiences to negatively impact you on your path anymore. Because look, you have the world in one hand and you have your cat over here on the left, which is intuition and quiet wisdom. So you have everything you need to move forward very successfully. You have everything you need. There's a sense of resolve here that I'm sensing for you. But yet we go into this end of the week and we have this Nine of Swords reverse, and this is okay. This is a Mars and Gemini energy. This is you being anxious about something, not being able to sleep. This is that 3 a.m. card, I call it, because it indicates you dealing with a high level of anxiety regarding something that's been building up over time that's impacting your peace of mind. That's typically triggered by external events, and I'm getting this has something to do with the relationship. This can also indicate the habit of worrying. So you may be worrying about very inconsequential things that really don't even warrant your attention. But the reverse here, which I like about this, which I like this as coming after the Two of Wands, is this is a change in the situation. You're feeling very deeply. You may even be feeling or realizing that you've been feeling trapped in a situation or by a situation. But the good thing here is that you're at the lowest point of the cycle, which means that everything's going to be going north for you now. It's going to be shifting up. You're gradually going to be moving out of this difficult phase and begin to start feeling more in your power. So really just be very patient and compassionate with yourself right now. And just know, again, it's not temporary. Any anxiety you're feeling here, any pain, is not going to last. It's not. Everything is starting to shift. And we have the Lover's card, so we still have this residue left over, right? This is more Gemini energy. And in the reverse, it shows a relationship out of balance. You know, and like the shadow side of your personality is coming out, becoming an issue. And this is a relationship, right? And the shadow side's reverse here. Your shadow side's becoming an issue. Yeah, this is a relationship crisis where that's exactly what I was feeling, though, in the beginning. This is you questioning that initial attraction to this person and even saying, do we even believe in the right things? Are we even, a good couple? Should we even be in this space together? I don't know. Maybe this person is all wrong for me. This is you questioning everything in a way where you're feeling, maybe everything that I initially thought about this person no longer applies. Everything I thought about them is suddenly corrupted somehow. And you might be feeling this sense of inequality in the relationship, maybe even betrayal and some sense of dishonesty. And with the numerology link here to the devil, this can also indicate some sort of lust or materialism or addiction to negative patterns and negative cycles. Like you guys just in this cycle of fighting. Same old nonsense over and over again. But the thing is here, I'm getting that. Okay. You guys are either going to figure things out in this energy and move forward in a positive way, or you're going to end things altogether. Completely altogether. And for those of you, I'm not getting that very strongly though, but it's a general read, so I have to put it out there. Some of you may be ending things altogether. Okay? But if you do, you're still going to have happiness in another element of your life. For those of you who are going to be working it out, and I want to say I'm getting that energy really the greatest, where you guys went through a wonky period here, but you're figuring your stuff out, because then we have the Ten of Pentacles energy. The 10 of anything is the build-up over time. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if it's the Ten of Pentacles, whether it's the Ten of Cups, whether it's the Ten of Swords, the Ten of Wands. It doesn't matter. This is the buildup over time. There's a history here, right? So this typically does not indicate, if you ended things in your relationship, this does not tell me that you're going to be meeting somebody right away in this energy. However, other aspects in your life can be completely positive. But for those of you who are working your stuff out in this Mercury energy, right? This is Mercury in you. This is a Mercury in Virgo energy. Mercury is exalted in Virgo. This is an awesome energy of reuniting and uniting. So not only intimate relationships, but also family and friends. And in this energy, wealth is not just monetary, because true wealth refers to happy family relationship, healthy boundaries. These are all things that the Pentacles really does, mean. Healthy boundaries, a comfortable, organized, and efficient home, money for your wants and needs. This is about fullness and richness of a life well lived, as well as just really enjoying the company of others, in part because you recognize and respect each other's differences. So I am getting that you're moving into a space where you're recognizing that you might have differences, and that's awesome. It makes it more interesting. As long as you have an ultimate meeting of the mind on the important things, there's nothing wrong with having differences. Because this energy indicates prosperity, not just in material terms, but also spiritually and emotionally. In its most basic sense, this is about the deepening of relationships in general and figuring things out that best serve your highest good. So you're ending this time period with a beautiful energy. It's just you're going to have some struggles going in. Then going back to the Fates Oracle, everything's happening exactly as it's supposed to. It just is. So if you're going into this week feeling this tension, do the best that you can to pivot your attention elsewhere. Try not to make any rash decisions. Deal with things as they come up, Virgo, because you have the Ten of Pentacles at the end. And I just feel like the issues that are going to be here can be worked out. That's what I'm getting. I hope this resonates with you. I really do, because this is really beautiful. And if this doesn't, definitely check your rising sign, your moon sign, and your Venus for sure, because we get a lot of additional messages from those. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you guys next week for the last week of July. You guys take care. Bye-bye.